Peace, peace. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to He Got Credit. I'm your host, Brother Najee, and today we're going to be talking about debt to income. Okay, debt to income and how it can affect you, and how you can outweigh the process of it. Right. So the reason why debt to income is so important is because whenever you go apply for a home or a vehicle, they want to know if you can afford it. Simple as that. They want to know how much debt you have compared to your income. And you may be renting, you may be leasing, or whatever the case might be, and then you may be able to make that payment every month. However, whenever it comes down to giving you a loan for a very large amount of money, a very lump sum amount of money, they need to make sure that you can pay it off in the duration of time that you have it for. All right, so they want to break down the factors as to what is your debt to income? How much money do you make compared to how much debt you have? Let's say, for example, you make $5,000 a month, right? So you make $5,000 a month, right? They'll say, okay, you make $5,000 a month. Okay, so they want to know, well, how much basically are you taking home from that after you pay your debts, right? So let's say you have a car note. Let's say the car note is $600, right? You make $5,000 a month. You have a car note for $600. That's automatic $4,400 right there, right? Boom. Then they're gonna say, well, do you have student loans? Let's say you have a student loan. Let's say it's $250, right? Boom. So you're down $250 from that. Let's say you have credit card debt. The credit card debt is, let's say, $300 a month. That's $300 right there, from the 4,400 down to the 250. So you're around the $3,800 ballpark, right? Then they're going to say, well, you have the personal loan, well, you have the student loan, you have the credit card debt, you have the car payment. You're bringing in around $3,800 a month, and the home that you want, we're going to require 3.2% or 3.5% down, or in some cases 10% down. Or if you have a VA loan for whatever, you can put down zero, right? So these things are going to factor in, and this is going to be your bread and butter, okay? This is going to be your bread and butter for you to get approved, because they need to make sure they can trust you and that you can afford this, and you're not putting yourself in the hole, and you're going to be barely making ends meet, basically, okay? So they're always going to ask you, what is your debt to income, your DTI, okay? And there's ways you can offset this as well. There's ways you can offset this, because it's algorithms. It is a very simple algorithm for you to follow and for you to understand. This is where, for example, if your debt is much more than your income, you can add authorized user trade lines, right, to offset the debt to income. Okay, let's say, for example, you have $50,000 worth of debt, right? $50,000 worth of debt, and let's say, for example, you make $50,000 a year, right? So it's even, right? If you added 60,000 or even up towards $100,000 worth of authorized user trade lines, it will offset it. So now it'll look like, well, the debt is offset with the trade lines, right? It's offset by 50,000, which means you have more credit available. You follow what I'm saying? You have more credit available because it shows that you have trade lines added that offset the debt to make it look like you have $50,000 worth of available credit. You see what I'm saying? So I'm telling you that do not go applying for a bunch of credit cards, get yourself in a bunch of credit card debt. Do not go apply for a big auto loan, because all this is going to play into a factor whenever you go get a home. All of it's going to play into a factor. Do not dive into a bunch of debt before you go apply for that home. My best advice to you, now I'm not a financial expert or guru, I'm just going off I'm giving you my experiences. My advice to you is get the home first. Get the home first, right? And the reason why you want to get the home first is because the lenders and the creditors, whenever you get the home first, they know you have to have a place to live. That's a given. You have to have a place to live. However, they know you don't need a big expensive car. You don't have to have a bunch of credit card debt. You don't have to have a bunch of debt, period. But they do know you need a place to live, and that's one of the key things in the world. Everybody has to have a roof, so you have to be able to pay for something to live in. That's a given. But there's no need for you to have a $600, $800, even a $14, $15 car note, especially if you don't make that much money. All right, I get it. Everybody needs a vehicle, depending on where you live, but primarily everybody needs a vehicle. But you must keep it to where you can afford it. All right? Keep it to where you afford it. If you're making $10,000 a month and you have a car note that's $600, that's different. Making $10,000 a month. You can afford to pay a mortgage that's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 if you're making $10,000 a month. But you won't be able to it won't make sense if you're making $4,000 a month to have a $1,000 car note. $800 car note. It doesn't make any sense. All right. So you have to be practical, and you have to be in reality. You have to be in reality as to where your finances are at. Don't put yourself in the hole because you want to impress others or you want to be flashy and stunt and I got a nice car, etc., etc. There's no need for it. There's no need for it. Get what you need first, and then follow up with the things that you want after. That's the most important thing. And this is the reason why debt to income is so important, because they're going to look at, well, his debt, he has so much debt compared to what his income is, which means you're living above your means at that point. You understand? You're living above your means. And that's what they don't want to trust you. They're not going to trust you because they're like, well, it's so much debt. This person has little income, and we don't know if we can give him this much money because we don't know if he's going to be able to make the payment or not, or she's not going to be able to make the payment or not, right? So keep in mind that focus on what you need first, and then once you get what you need, then go after what you want, okay? You don't want to put yourself in a bind or in a bunch of debt or in the hole. And I'm not saying all debt is bad, and I'm not saying all debt is good. But whenever you getting into a home, you have to have somewhere to live. That's a given. Do you need the big expensive car? No, you don't need it. Do you need to rack up a bunch of credit card debt? No, you don't have to. Those are all options. Those are all things that you don't need them. Okay. You need credit cards, to build credit history, but to rack up a bunch of debt is what you don't need. To have a really expensive car note is what you don't need. Okay, if you get a personal loan to consolidate debt, or if you get a personal loan to start a business, though that's different because you're investing into something with hopes in return to get a return on it. But if you're just getting a personal loan to buy a car, or you're doing it because you want to go shopping, or you want to travel, or you want to put it towards something that's not going to get a return on it, that is what you call going into debt. Okay, and now you have to take your income that you currently make to pay off that debt, as opposed to an investment that will give you something in return to add value to what you already make. All right, so in hindsight of things, right? Get the house first. This is just my advice and my opinion. You don't have to take it as face value. Get the house first. Clear up debt. Get those credit cards down to at least 10%, 5% utilization. If you have personal loans, pay it off. I'm telling you this because do not go in there trying to purchase a home with a lot of debt. It's not going to be a good look for you. I'm not saying that you won't get approved, and I'm not saying that they won't approve you. But what I'm saying is that it's best to look good on paper first when you go in there to get the home, and not to have so much debt compared to your income. All right? It's very important, and it's something that you want to take into consideration. All right? If you have credit cards, pay them off. You have a personal loan, pay it off. Okay? If you have child support, that's going to factor into the DTI as well. That's considered as an expensive well. If you have a personal loan, student loan, credit card debt, auto loan, right? Those are all considered debt. Those are all going to factor into your DTI. You can add authorized user trade lines to offset that, though. You can add authorized user trade line to offset that debt to income. If you have $30,000 worth of debt, you can add, $60,000 worth of trade lines, $100,000 worth of trade lines. Actually, you can even add $30,000 worth of trade lines to even break even. Okay, so there's ways and maneuvers around it, and there's algorithms to it. But you must be strategic and you must be intelligent as to how you're going to apply for this home. Okay, right now, renting and purchasing homes, the prices are almost neck and neck now in this day and time because of inflation and because of the way the economy is. All right, so I just wanted to give y'all a breakdown on debt to income and how it can affect you in a negative way and a positive way whenever you're going to apply for the things that you apply for. Okay, be intelligent, move with the strategy, and make sure that you are doing the necessary steps to increase and improve your credit as you go to apply for the things that you need. Okay, don't go in there blinded. Don't go in there not knowing what you need and what you need to do firsthand before you go purchase a home. All right. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I'm Brother Najee. If you need to follow me on Instagram at HeGotJs23. You can follow me on Snapchat at HeGotCredit. Follow me on Facebook at Najee Shi Amaru Ali. And I'm on Twitter at HeGotCredit as well, if I didn't already say that. Tap in. If you need authorized user trade lines, you can contact me at 405-441-3276. Again, that's 405-441-3276. If you need authorized user trade lines, reach out. Okay? Thank you for tuning in. I'm out. Peace.